I forgot to mention, I meant to mention before the break that generally when you're doing retreat, um, like it says in the Lam Rim, we can divide up all of our time into the time during meditation sessions and the time between meditation sessions. So, especially when you're doing retreat, one of the main advice is to, um, in the break time, in the time between meditation sessions, to not totally lose mindfulness of what you were meditating on during the session, right? To try to remember somewhat. Of course, you have to do other things like, eating and cleaning and going for walks and talking to people and stuff. But, when you can, to try to remember a little bit whatever, especially whatever kind of insights you arrived at during your previous meditation sessions, and keep some mindfulness of whatever it is generally you're meditating on, so that when you pick up in the next session, you're not just starting from scratch again, but you're sort of picking up from where you left off. Yeah. But I know, because I know I was especially concerned just that maybe because we're meditating for a little longer periods than we usually do. I mean, still 20 minutes is not that long, but um, but I was kind of concerned maybe some of you are feeling like after 5 minutes, maybe feeling lost, like, what do I do now? I've already thought about what he said to think about, and I'm not sure what else to think about. Because I know I'm not giving much instruction, but I mean, we've been going over this stuff for 6 sessions already, so I figure, you probably have quite a lot to think about. Anyway, so it's going okay? Okay, then let's start. Yeah, so let's just sit quietly for a couple of minutes and try to focus our attention. Do some placement meditation. Focus our attention on the object of meditation. And then again, we'll generate positive motivation, generate mind of refuge. So first, for a couple of minutes, just focus your mind on an object of meditation. And then again, visualize yourself surrounded by all sentient beings, your friends and family to your left and right and behind you. And then those whom you're most prone to be negatively biased towards or become angry with directly in front of you, facing towards you. And then all the other sentient beings who you don't have particular aversion towards or attachment towards. Visualize all around you. And remember your interconnectedness with them in this life, countless past lives, and future lives. every experience of well-being and happiness arises in dependence upon all sentient beings. How all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the past, present, future all arise in dependence upon all sentient beings. And try to generate some sense of concern, altruistic intention towards all of them, and then relate that to your own motivation for this session. I especially think how all these sentient beings are the same as us and experiencing birth and death again and again, especially death. But most of them are not fortunate enough to receive much explanation or hear much explanation about what death is and how to deal with it, how to use it, how to make use of the opportunity it affords, or are not interested or don't give much thought to it. And so it's something maybe causes a lot of fear. They give rise to a lot of fear and regret. It can be a lot very shocking for many sentient beings. So how we can benefit others also by meditating on impermanence and death, and becoming comfortable with it. Especially we can use death as a path towards enlightenment. And once as enlightened beings, we can be infinitely helpful to others. Okay, let's read the 4 measurable thoughts now. How wonderful it would be for all sentient beings to abide in equanimity, free from attachment to friends and anger towards enemies. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please grant me blessings to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be for all sentient beings to have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they have happiness and its causes. I myself will cause them to have these. Please grant me blessings to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be for all sentient beings to be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself will cause them to be free from these. Please grant me blessings to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be for all sentient beings to never be separated from the happiness which is totally beyond suffering. May they never be separated from this. I myself will cause them to be never separated from this. Please grant me blessings to be able to do this. And then if you like, you can visualize the field of refuge, Shakyamuni Buddha, or any other object of refuge in the space in front of you at the height of your, at the height of your brow, a couple meters distant. So remember that which you go for refuge from, for protection from, the sufferings of this life and of samsara in general, especially the fear of future suffering. And then and the ability of the object of refuge to protect you and give you good guidance to to lead you to safety from sufferings of this life and of samsara in general. And you can, if you like, you can join in reciting this refuge and bodhicitta prayer. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my 2 collections of listening or meditating on the Dharma, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened and the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my two collections of meditating on the Dharma. So the two collections are the collections of merit and wisdom. So by my two collections of meditating on the Dharma, means from that arise from meditating on the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge until I'm enlightened, and the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my two collections from meditating on the Dharma. May I become a Buddha to benefit all transmigratory beings. And then from our heart, we can make a request to the Buddha or whatever object of refuge we visualize to give us inspiration and blessing, to bless us with inspiration while we're meditating. To bless us to generate deep insights. And then imagine they're very pleased with our request, and then they come to the space above the crown of our head and abide there, guiding us. Okay, so far we meditated on impermanence in general, and then looking at what death is, and then we were thinking about why it's important to meditate on death. So now we want to meditate on the 6 disadvantages of not thinking about death, and then the 6 advantages of thinking about death. So here's the list of 6. So I think we'll spend about 15, 20 minutes on each list. So I'd suggest you go through each of the drawbacks one by one and reflect on it. Just make sure you have a clear understanding of it, and then any questions or reasonings you want to use and reflect on those in relation to it. And then if you have time left, you could think in a more general way. Think of other disadvantages or drawbacks from not thinking about death. No, sorry. Yeah, so like that. So I have about 20 minutes to reflect on the disadvantages of not thinking about death.